the star over from another esport.
We'll see. I mean, he's had this name for quite some time, at least over a year now, since he made the switch. But we'll have to see how this game goes. I'm very curious on the Invoker. I haven't really played this hero since like the beginning of Dota 2. I used to play a lot of Invoker, but since then, like not so much. And like you can't even recognize the hero anymore if you don't really keep up with it. Like it's been changed so many times, especially this new Invoker, the Agnostic. What it does is your Quas passively gives you DPS on your right clicks, right? So it's like a dot. And now the Wex will just give you attack speed if you have them available, and the Exort will give you bonus attack damage. So I think what they're trying to do with this new Invoker, instead of you're so centered around your abilities and skills, right? You're more of a right-click hero. I think you go for like a Witchblade, and you're just sitting there right-clicking people and doing DPS that way through your orbs.
I think that was a build we were starting to see picked up a little bit with maybe a couple months ago when Invoker was getting played occasionally with like the Witchblade. I know who was it? I've seen like Koifa do it a lot on his streams, but really importantly on pro games, I saw BZM even going for this build where it was like Treads, Witchblade. He'd go like Hurricane Pike, BKB, and just like you said, transition into a little bit more of a right-click threat instead of just having the threat of his spells.
Yeah, and he's going to start with the W right away, which is going to give him... Of course, it not only does give you the bonus attack speed on top of it, but you still get the abilities to unlock. And he's going to go with the mana burn here, as alone will just nuke out that entire first wave. So I'm not deal with any of that.
I was looking at the Gyrocopter with his innate ability. Speaking of the Gyro, Wits starting with a tri-lane down bottom, and Wits is taking a lot of damage with the 3 heroes from Lava. Looks like they're not going to be able to get the kill, however, but... What?
Okay, yeah, interesting. They're good, just a little bit of harassment. My eyes are pretty much glued on that mid lane, so I didn't even notice. They probably blocked the lane back to get lane equilibrium for this Brewmaster, really prioritizing a lot of resources, and they also just probably think that Tiny at level 1, you're not going to do too much to harass this hero just because he's so tanky. And at the same time, he's not under a lot of threat either to be harassed. So I think that was a pretty good decision to just like quickly get over there, give a bit of advantage. And these small little advantages can mean a lot to like shifting how a lane eventually progresses.
How important is it with the fact that bottom lane, I know a lot of lanes it's quite, there's always the talk about the small camps and the large camps being open, but how much of a difference is that, especially with the Gyrocopter being in your lane where you naturally shove it with the flak cannon?
I mean, it's mainly going to be what you see right here. They're going to play for this pool as much as they possibly can. He's going to shove it in, and then they're going to battle for this pool camp as well. But I think, generally speaking, for a Gyro, you can't really crush lanes very easily if you're going to spam the flat cannon. You really have to choice to make is, do I want to just push the lane out and go neutral because they're just shoving it way back into them? Or do I want to go for more kills? And they kind of have shown what they want to do here. They just want to keep shoving the lane out. Over in top lane, Mike will be going down.
Is he going to tick out?
He tossed the creep.
Okay.
I mean, if he would have thrown the Doom would have just killed the Buck in one more hit there. So maybe it's a good thing that he missed that toss.
Yeah, probably would have lived as well. Would have been able to run away, I imagine, on the Doom. So at least he's able to stay alive, and everyone's having a pretty good start. It does look like Brew's actually, I mean, only 5 last hits at the moment here for Adrian down bottom. So Prada along with Wits off to a pretty good time. Mid lane as well, 15-2 compared to the 12-1 with Invoker and Shadow Fiend. So they're also enjoying the lane.
All right. So these orbs on Invoker, even if you don't have them like active, you still get the bonus stats, right?
That's what I think. Yeah, I'm not 100% certain. That's what I make.
I think
of it,
so.
though.
I thought it was per orb you'd get that amount of attack speed while active, but I think it just passively gives you that flat amount. That would make sense. Okay.
So the other one is your active orbs, the elitist.
Right.
And this one is the passive. But at least what I can tell. I mean, it's a little bit. The wording's a bit weird, at least on the agnostic, just because it's never been like that. So I feel like my brain defaults to it being the active ones.
Right. And like this Invoker, his innate ability, right? of getting 25% more on denies. Well, if you only have 2 denies, that really doesn't do a lot for you right in the mid lane. And I think SF is one of those heroes that's very hard to deny against just because he has so many nukes and ways to deal with that. But it looks like Faker might get a couple more denies here. As I mentioned, he has those denies. He's going to triple up on his denies.
You
That'll
feel like
allow
they
him
should
to hit 5 first.
Do you think because of the innate being the denies now, where there's going to be a bit of a trend as top lane actually? 555, it's the bushwhack and should go down this time, unfortunately, with the tiny toss a little bit too late. So Ryu will strike first here. Fusion Club get on the board. Back to the Invoker. Do you feel like this Invoker, like, we're going to start to see it transition a little bit more to Exort, just because, like, you're not getting that passive extra damage with it, and then that means, you know, maybe you're struggling a little bit more to find denies in the lane?
I thought that's what it would kind of go as well. That's why I really wanted to see what he was going to do with it. But I think you have to just like make a choice, right? And I think for the laning stage, because of the denies, yeah, having that extra damage would be like really nice to have. But I think he still realizes at the end of the day, he has to make space for his team. So he has to go for this Quaswex build with the urn and run around and try to make kills happen on the map. So it doesn't look like he's purely focusing on just trying to win his lane. Because there's overall objectives that, and there's like check boxes that your draft kind of needs to hit. And I think this game, he has to make some space. This brew is going to be farming a lot.
Speaking of the brew, is still a bit of a tough lane, needing a bunch of spells between Prada and Wits. Double bracer here for Adrian. And one coming out shortly. So a lot of stats for the Brewmaster to be able to continue to play the lane, but getting experience, but still is not having the funnest time with being able to secure CS.
And they're gonna go again onto the top lane here, really struggling. This Hoodwink yet again, just dominating laning stages.
Maybe this could be a nice rotation out of Faker though. He wants to turn for Michael instead, feeling like he doesn't have the damage to kill off the offlaner, so we'll at least get a kill. Rotation out of him. You've got Pampelona already trying to soak up some experience mid. Looks like the rune will go Alone's way. Wait, when? This is a very early Feast of Souls from Alone. We saw yesterday, right? Like, not even leveled up until, like, 20 plus?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the ability. It's actually a pretty good value point. It's either you get 1 point in it, or you just get no points in it. Because, like, the downside of this ability is definitely going to be the fact that you lose 5 souls, as Adrian... Oh, that was close. Good cookie there, right? And get him out. But yeah, the point is, like, of the Feast of Souls, like, you rarely use it, but maybe there will be a chance where it comes into play, because it really does not feel good to lose 5 souls.
I wasn't paying close attention if there was actually a play where he used it into the mid lane or whatnot, but it's always interesting to see the little adaptations and people's reads on how to play the hero, and you're even just one skill point like that, just a value point compared to some others.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it, like, but I think you just don't put more than 1 point in it. It doesn't make, like, for tennis attack speed per level, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's really worth it.
You were speaking about the lane zone, the draft for Fusion, and saying yesterday, you know, that was one thing that they did a pretty solid job in. 2,000 net worth lead. I mean, they are just botting pretty much all the lanes. Mid, of course, Invoker went pretty well. Doom is incredibly high up there in the net worth. They're going to try and rotate the Invoker down, but he doesn't get anything out of this movement, so wasted time from Faker. This tower's getting beat into and already down to under half health here for the T1 tower mid.
Yeah, that's what happens when you make rotations on Invoker. You leave a hero like Shadow Fiend alone. His ability to just push the lane, and then he has great right click on top of it to just take your buildings. So you want to make these rotations if you're Faker, but you're taking a heavy penalty on like your building. So now you're in a situation where you're going to smoke again. They're going to leave Pugna mid lane, and they really need to connect with this one. Because if they don't connect with this one, Faker's going to be sitting there like, I really wish I just went Exort and played for my own game here, because these rotations, they're not really working out, and they might find one hero here.
Oh, whoa.
Spells missed.
I mean, they'll find it, but man, with the spells not cute, but
I don't know if they're going to kill him. I don't think they will. This guy has 20 wand.
Oh, yeah, true.
and they just used everything. Like, they missed the scatter blast, they missed the tornado. I think they would have had to hit all of them against this 21 to really survive here. But, you know, maybe they can chase them down. We'll have to see. But I just don't think this is going to be a kill. And missing spells does hurt in a situation like this one, especially when you desperately need to turn around this disastrous laning stage. Like, you gave this Doom a free game because you decided to try lane bottom, and that investment did not pay off. Like, if you look at the Brewmaster, he's lowest net worth in the game right now. And he got to start with a nice little tri lane to help him out there, but it did not seem to help him out whatsoever. Shadow Fiend will reconnect here, and we'll see if they can get Prada here, but I think this looks like a little bit of a tough kill.
So Prada's still going to be able to turn around with the stun. Wits and Michael even tip in. Faker's going to continue the chase, but...
Oh, they got the right click.
Just was able to get in range for the kill, and now Adrian... Well, they're going to try and move over towards the Gyrocopter. Wits in some danger, but the level 6 is online. Now with the extra damage from the cooldown, they're going to try and step out of range. He's got the facet, which is going to help out with some of the damage.
Oh, he got 6.
Adrian, he's got his split as well off that. And now Ryu, this is a really late rotation. Along with Alone, they feel forced to make these movements, but is it going to reward themselves in the end? Ryu able to snipe down Fake Up, and now this Shadow Fiend in some danger. Adrian's primal split's going to expire. Once he pops out, he's got a gift of a missile to the face, and Fusion, I mean, they kind of even in the end, but I mean, that's 5 heroes down bottom. That was a heavy commitment, and you still lose, I think, 3 in the end.
Yeah, and the Shadow Fiend, like, didn't skill his ult yet, just going for full greed farming with presence of the Dark Lord, so thought he might die there for a little bit of that greed there, but in the end, he did not get punished.
I love how you were saying, like, yeah, you think the Venge is gonna survive? That was the calculations we were doing, and then just that turned into a shit show. Like, just a bunch of crap happened afterwards. Like, we just did not see that happening.
I mean, that Gyro just hit level 6 after getting a kill. So did the Brew after getting a kill too. And now all of a sudden, all these ultimates are just online and ready to use, and turned into a big trade. But it's still definitely favored the side of Fusion there, as the SF was the big breadwinner in that one, being able to kill the Invoker and the Brewmaster there. They did lose their Gyro, of course, so of course Invoker did get a little bit of EXP, which helped him out, but I think they want to keep going. You have Vestal online. Yeah, Faker, he's already ghost walking the top lane. He wants to go after this Doom. Doom is online though, so they're gonna have to get a perfect chain stun on him, which I think it's definitely possible. Yep, they're going.
I'd just like even to burn some of the mana for Ryu so he can't cast the spells. Tries to get the Doom off. It's not going to be in time. The cooldown from Wits is huge. That's a lot of AoE damage. But he's got no one here. It's actually just Michael, but it's not going to matter. Wits with the rotation for the Gyrocopter, but the carry, when he wants to be farming, he wants the boys to be rotating, but Alone Shadow Fiend, I mean, just completed the Blink Dagger. Maybe that was 20 seconds earlier. He might think about TPing over, but that is, all right. You have some things going Lava's way.
Yeah, the positioning from Prada just wasn't there. The Gyro came from the gate, but Prada went the other way. So if there was a swap there on the Gyro, maybe that doesn't look so bad. But losing your Gyrocopter to this Pugna plus Snapfire that just got their level 6 is pretty bad for Wits after having such a good early game. And with 2 deaths in a row has now catapulted them down towards the Brewmaster's net worth. Imagine that. So now, not feeling so good on this Gyrocopter.
The Brew, who was alone to be able to take a tier 1 tower and already has 1 component, 1,000 gold in the bank towards a Radiant. So they're hunting Wits. Imagine a third death in a row onto Wits. This would be devastating.
He's so dead.
Pride's got 6 at least. Yeah. Okay, that looks like it's going to be enough. Unfortunately, Adrian didn't have the mana for the split to potentially continue the dive. So Wits, Baker might...
He might be greedy for this. Oh, yeah.
He's going to be greedy.
The glyph might have given it away,
glyph,
though.
Yeah.
But it's still a pretty good glyph, though, because he doesn't get to farm that wave. So they still scared him off. Look, he's not going to get that wave or the next wave going into the tower there. He has to go back to base again. This is not helping his network. This is a hero. Well, I mean, hold that. Blink Dagger online. Pugna does go down. Yeah, as I was saying, this Gyrocopter is not a hero that wants to be scared to farm. You always want to be ahead with this one. And again, the Doom is going to go off.
And the Brewmaster, so okay. You got some catch up and now back to the bottom of the net worth. As Faker is kind of stalking here with the Invoker, but unfortunately his heroes keep dying one by one and unable to set up for a defense. Looks like they will come through at the last second. Faker's going to run into Ryu. Should be a kill connected onto the Doom. Alone's going to try with a turnaround, but Faker's still got some spells and now Alone
He's in trouble.
He's committed and he is gone. This is sloppy stuff from Fusion. They've given a big avenue for Lava to re-enter this game.
Yeah, that was like zero respect there for Faker. He didn't use his Invoke yet, so Tornado was still available. And I was gonna say, the good news for Fusion is even though Witz's game is absolutely terrible, that this Doom and SF, they're free farming. They're like at the top of the pack here and they're doing great. And then they just throw that one right back to the way of Lava. So scratch that advantage. This game is like completely even now.
This watcher.
Oh, that's a good
I think
sentry
they know
placement.
Invoker's here.
Yeah, they have a sentry there.
Ryu with the jump in as well. So they're going to be able to catch up the Invoker on this attempt to try and steal the Wisdom. And I believe it was actually near the Watcher. There was a sentry with the Watcher vision, so they saw him moving over. So the TP's already started to come through, and that then extra place sentry.
Lots of back and forth there. I'm very curious on Faker's objective, though, for doing that. Maybe he's trying to sneak the Wisdom rune? Probably. Because there's no way he was going to get a solo kill there by himself. His team wasn't really joining him. But they are going to use a smoke now on... Oh, Pugna was just smoked. It ended. Guess that was for nothing there. I'm not able to find an opening quite yet there. But Invoker is back with those boots of travel. TP top. He has been pinged out. Let's see if they want to make a move here or if it's just farm time. I think if you are on the side of Fusion, farming is pretty easy for you. Is this brew actually a kill? I don't know. We're gonna try. It is. Okay. All right.
Wow. Oh my god, that is so much damage. Level 2 in the Requiem here for Alone.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep underestimating this spell. I should just assume that whoever he goes on just instantly dies. He's actually putting points into the Feast of Souls. I don't think he's casted the spell even once yet, but he's preparing it.
What's he preparing it for?
I don't know. It's maybe one day thinking about using it.
He's going Manta.
Nah, he...
Oh, okay. Okay, accidental
way.
queued up. He searched Yasha and one of the Yasha Kai, but...
Yeah.
That is kind of nice. I mean, 555 gets a double D ward. I mean, the first one was about a minute ago near the new ward down bottom of Radiance, like near the small camp, and then he got another one in the lane. So a little bit of vision that Fusion wanted to play with to potentially set up on the Brewmaster bottom as he's farming towards a Radiance is not going to be there. And now actually Faker even clips Michael on the teleport out. So, and Faker is going back from Midas too. So maybe seeing that this game might slow down soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Invoker, when you go Quaslex, you generally want to go for this Midas build. That way, in case the rotations don't work, you can always have a fallback to get your farm and your levels. And as you can see, he's running around the map a lot, which is definitely impacting his net worth. But he's doing it in the hopes that this Brewmaster is going to get to this Radiance and then start catching up in the net worth department.
Oh man, I think I just saw Ryu miss 6-7 creeps under the tower.
You know, why you gotta call him out like that?
Sorry, dude. It was on camera as well for like half of it. Alone mid lane. This would be a big kill. He's gonna show for a second. They got the blink as well from Tiny. So the carry leveling it up early on, and he's gonna be rewarded. And this is a pretty early blink.
Yeah. We're seeing this twice now. Some favoring of the early blink over the Shadow Blade. It doesn't really slow your farm down too much, and you eventually do want to buy the blink, so as long as you don't use this blink to play like a mid-tiny, right, where you just always are on the run looking for kills. I think that's where the shard comes into play for the carry tiny. You always feel like you can be farming with that shard available.
Is it? wanted to speak about this for some time now. With this counterpart, the Gyrocopter Wits, how do we... Firstly, what about the facets on this hero? Is this kind of the one you go down with the cooldown, even for a Gyrocopter? And sorry, as a carry gyro? And the innate, have you done any like theory crafting on any like crazy itemization that can be done with the chop shot?
I've not done it quite yet, but I'm going to eventually get into that territory. It's just, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. Like, it's not about disassembling and selling. It's going to be more about disassembling and farming patterns. But it's really sad that Gyrocopter right now feels like there's only really one viable build, and that's like just the Aghanims build. So I don't know if there's like anything super cool you can do outside of that. I'll definitely theory craft it later. As far as the talent goes, or sorry, the facet, that is the one, the facet goes, it's really just a preference at this point. Before, the other facet where you would use Rocket Barrage would give you move speed if it hit creeps, then you're just always hasted, and that was 100% the best facet no matter what. Now it only works when you hit heroes, so at this point I think it's really a 50-50. I'm not sure which one is entirely better, but I think they both have their uses if you want to go for it. The secondary strikes, it just gives you a bit more damage on your ultimate. It's not bad. The other one will give you a bit more move speed if you're hitting a hero, but as a carry gyro, you're oftentimes hitting creeps, right? And you'll come in with a call down to support, so it makes a lot of sense to go for it this game or just as a carry in general.
Kind of with initiation off the back of the double damage rune. A quick and easy kill into the hook. This is 4 heroes though, and they're going to be scouted out moving through the portal, so a lot of information here for Fusion. In fact, they actually haven't gone through the portal just yet. And Fusion, they've picked up the Yasha Kai here for the Shadow Fiend. BKB picked up from Ryu as well, so they are getting some pretty big items to potentially look to take a fight. But you also said, you know, this is a team with their lineup. They're content with farming. So do you feel like you even want to force a fight now for Fusion with these items, or you can just continue farming? You don't really have to up the tempo.
I think you're chill farming here because you definitely want your BKB on Gyro, because we've seen in all these fights he just dies to AoE damage at this point. Some Snapfire is just going to press ulti on him and he's going to die. So he needs to finish that BKB, chill out and farm. Shadow Fiend, this hero quite literally has infinite scaling. Of course you do want to get some kills to get some more net worth, but unfortunately BKB is available. He's thinking about it, but he does not want to. You know, he's just getting whittled down.
No, it's not.
Yeah. No. That's only level 2 something. Alone? Let's go.
Occurred, okay.
But they found him.
Maybe we get the jump over the top.
The greed is real.
BKB from alone, yeah, he's really showing a couple times about not really respecting Lava, and now this is at the front of the T2 tower. They've got a glyph, but looking like a micro down in the end. This is a nice objective for Lava to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, that's your SA Flare right there. He just wants to make some crazy play to annoy you and make you feel like he's better than you, but the risk of playing like that is as it shows. You can get punished really, really hard. Until he does get that BKB, he is not going to be getting that ultimate off quite easily. Tiny is a hero that can ground target his stuns really quickly. Same with Invoker, right? Like, against some heroes I talked about, like maybe like Snapfire and like Brewmaster, you can't get your spells off in time. But when you have instant cast heroes like Tiny and Invoker, you got to be really careful with your positioning. And I think more than anything, you got to prioritize farming this BKB, because you have free reign once you have BKB, and you don't want to give away too many kills before you have it. They're gonna try and defend Roche here.
The gyro cult though.
This Roche is slow.
Psychic will go uncontested. 555's in a pretty good position with the Pugna. Scouts him out. They're actually going to swap him down to the low ground. They'll get the kill to start. It's taking some time, which is exactly what they need on Lava to get Roche. They're going to re-smoke again. Tiny. Black put it up, charging forward, Aegis in hands. Cooldown's going to try and block Adrian with the Doom as well, but the Brew is gone. Heavy committal to take care of the offlaner. And now Tiny jumped into the middle of the team fight over to the northern side as well. Importantly, Faker, he's been initiated on. But the Evoker's going to get blown up from Alone. Alone committed the Requiem early on, and now they can kite the Tiny. Mortimer kisses point blank. Paint Balloon is going to try and deal with the Shadow Fiend. He'll be successful. Doom killed off as well. Great toss onto the artillery raining down, and now they're grouped up.
Oh, they got
Tiny
the Cyclone.
The combo. With the buyback out of Adrian, they're going to be able to hold Wits into place, and an incredible fight from Lava off the back. At the Aegis advantage, they're going to find 4 big kills.
Yeah, that's absolutely massive. Like, we're kind of seeing not having these BKBs and what it means for these fights. The Shadow Fiend has to do an ult that is less than desirable there. Same with the Gyrocopter. Can't really get into these fights here. And then, or I feel like the decision making, I talked about it yesterday with this team. It seems like they're still struggling on realizing what their power spikes are and when they should be fighting. Because in this game, to me, it's very clear. You can give that Roche away if you want to. You need to farm your BKBs up, but they're causing that was minor bleeding and to be a gaping wound now for this game. You still don't have your BKBs. Now you gave away 4 more kills, about 4,000 gold swing there. And now you're playing against an Aegis as well on this Tiny.
And a DD now. And they're actually going to smoke aggressively and look for a pickoff. Just Michael showing in the lane. Tiny will continue to stalk his prey there by the outpost.
That's damage.
An easy combo. That is a
throwing his corpse on the golems to help him farm a little bit.
Rada now too. Faker's going to be able to get a glimpse of the Vengeful Spirit stepping out the base, and alright, toss Pampalona in. I think it's and they're actually going to walk up high ground. DD Nether Blast. This tower falls fast. Oh boy.
Yeah, Lackady Tiny, it does hurt. It was nerfed recently. I think it did like 80% damage to buildings before, and now it's just like 40. Like, it's literally like halved, but it still is insane. Okay, this might be a little greedy.
What the hell is it? That's crazy. Toss back Ryu. Are they going to be able to punish the greed though? Bushwhack connect from Michael. Decrep's going to try and do what it can, but I mean, that's Aegis down early on. It's still had 2 minutes to work with. That was... It's okay. At least he gets out and doesn't completely die, but that was very, very aggressive.
Yeah, just how these players like to play. They like to play on a knife's edge here. Either it looks amazing or it looks a little bit silly, but he had some wiggle room to play with, right? You got the Aegis. If it would have worked, they would have killed the Gyro. Then all of a sudden you'd be like, wow, this guy's so good. You gotta take big risks sometimes to make a big play.
It's another phylactery build as well from the Tiny. And this time he's playing like far ahead. I thought maybe, you know, with him being at this stage, he might look for the Daedalus, considering how good of a game he's had. But
yeah, I
mean,
mean,
like at least it's sorry.
The Conda build is just more burst damage, whereas the Daedalus build is more like sustained damage. So he really just wants to burst heroes. And against a hero like SF, it's not so bad because you have to keep in mind like the tree throw with the shard gives you 100 bonus damage on it. And of course, if you add the Conda crit on top of it, you could burst SF in like one go. But you do have to commit your tree throw if you want to like do the whole burst damage. But he feels like he can get it done, and he might be right about it too. Like, he's definitely really far ahead and very farmed.
See what Fusion are going to be able to do in these upcoming fights. 7,000 deficit. You've got Ryu working towards the Octarine, Alone importantly with that BKB completed. See if they're going to be able to combine their spells together, because so far this game, the lane started incredibly well, but since then it's really been lava through and through with a lot of these fights and skirmishes that have occurred across the map.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue I have right now for them is where's your damage coming from? Like, who's going to kill this Tiny? He's at 4,000 HP, 36 armor, and what is he sitting at? About 37% status resistance, too. And 50% slow resist. So, like, you can't really slow this guy. Your stuns aren't going to last very long either. And then you got to chew through 4k HP. Now, I'll tell you one thing. This Gyrocopter with just a BKB and Ags, he's not going to be the one to do it. That is for sure. Maybe if you can get a Doom on him and a Requiem before the BKB comes off, That's a lot to ask for here. I mean, I guess he doesn't have a BKB, so that's your one saving grace here. Maybe you can just catch him real quick in that scenario. We'll see if the smoke can do it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Did see lava smoke under this deep observer, but unfortunately, not going to be able to use it to their advantage. It's a nice scan, however. Have got any wards to place on the high ground to assist with this jump?
Radiant's courier has been
Some courier with dust sitting there. Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Looks like nobody will find anyone. Or will they? How aggressive do you want to be, Dad? How aggressive do you want to be? You have no Aegis, my friend. Yeah, ping that Rax. Force him back to base. This is the correct call. But you gotta be a little bit careful
Fire's
here.
already here.
Wait for them to show. Okay, you see the Doom now. So the shenanigans are now over. There was one ward they were able to place on that Venture for Fusion there. It's pretty deep in there. Maybe they can at some point smoke to it and find a hero farming, but their triangle is completely warded up. There's 2 wards, seeing everything going on there. So if they want to go there, they're going to have to use a smoke. And this Shadow Fiend, he wants level 20 badly. That's when you get the extra fear line.
Oh.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Fusion desperately hoping them to walk into them.
The choreo. Okay. Octarine now for Rive.
Dire are
2 heroes aren't with the team on Fusion. Seems like they want to fight, but the other 2 are wanting to farm. Alone's trying to get that 20 like you're saying, but it's still a little ways away.
Yeah, I think Prada is just babysitting Wits here to make sure he doesn't get ganked. That he's going to block that gank and trying to get some extra vision out too. I mean, they can't just sit there as 5 heroes, right? Because if you sit there as 5 heroes and the other team just farming your triangle, farming the whole map, the net worth is going to get out of control here. But they are desperately hoping someone does walk up to that high ground there. But at the same time, Lava, they want to get up there. They don't want you to sit there and turtle, so they're going to go ahead and walk on up there, try to do some D-wards. And who's going to have the better positioning here? Can they blow up 5-5-5 first?
It's still 2 heroes away from the team. Ryo's going to be able to land the Doom onto the Brewmaster, but the Blue just disengages. No one is there to assist him. They're going to TP in late. But Prada, of course, yeah, you keep Ryu alive. But Brewmaster is now, I mean, the Doom's expired and Tiny can find the jump in over the top. Alone's going to go for the Requiem. Have they got the damage though? Down to about a quarter health left. Glimmer Cape's going to be able to protect the Tiny momentarily. Looks to step over, trying to continue to battle. This Tiny's falling low to the Infernal Blade, but it's not going to be enough.
Got him.
The damage that we were questioning was not there for the boys on Fusion, and now they've committed to a team fight that they will not be able to win. At least Wits and Alone make it to the high ground, but all the damage that you were missing, it's healed back up now from 555, and they're going to enter the high ground.
You don't have Doom anymore. You don't have Requiem. They were able to heal up the Tiny with the Pugna. And try and go again, though.
The buybacks, it's actually not too bad here with Wits trying to get a couple crits out. Do they have what it needs in the end? Decrep, get him out. Everything used to protect the Tiny. Wits forced to turn to some of the supports. Adrian will TP, but Pampelona will not escape.
Yeah, the Hurricane Pipes, the Glimmer Capes, and on top of it, Pampelona's build, which we haven't really gone over too much. Just Greaves and Pipe, keeping this Tiny alone. Not to mention just the raw slow resist and status resist. Like, you have a bunch of slows, right, on the side of Fusion, but they're not really that effective against a Tiny that has a 50% slow resist on him at the current point in time. So he's able to just walk it off. And maybe the Shadow Fiend level 20 is what they needed. We saw the last Requiem. It barely mini-stunned him, right? But with that extra Requiem fear line, perhaps that'll be enough to give the damage, not only the damage, but the time for him to be able to just get locked down. And we also didn't see Wits really inputting much damage in that last fight. So he's going to have to really just finish this Daedalus before he can start cracking through the armor of Tiny.
How much of a factor could this level 20 talent as well be from Ryu if he goes for the Infernal Blade damage? Because it's going to be up to 6.5 if it goes that route against the 4100 health of the Tiny.
I almost see nobody choose that talent, but it could be good. I think most people just like having like permanent scorched earth running. But we'll see if he goes for it.
Like, if this is a game though, like we're saying, you know, the damage could be lacking for them against Tinies. Is this a game where you could see it be considered?
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely consider it. I don't think he'll go it though, but I definitely think it's worth the conversation. Sometimes you're just on autopilot, right? Because your first two talents you got are improving your scorched earth, so you kind of want your last talent to also like help with that, your first two talents. But either way, team fight will happen here.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Wouldn't they
Battle for
protect
the
their
high
ward?
ground.
Looks like 555 is still going to be able to get it in the end. They do not want to heavily commit for the Pugna.
And they're just backing. I think they decided we lost our ward. We lost Roshan. And honestly, this isn't really a bad call, because you can always defend your high ground. But taking a fight into an enemy when they have a ward available and you do not might be too much to ask for. So they're going to go back. They're going to show. They realize their mid barracks is under siege. Go ahead and deal with this one. And that is, I mean, Roche free for the taking for lava here. And that is exactly what they'll do. They'll just go ahead and grab this one up real quick. Fusion are just chilling for now, waiting for that good fight. I mean, they thought they had it on the last one. It's just a Doom, right? He blinked in and doomed the Brewmaster, but they just walked it off. They're going to have to be able to do that, but actually commit to the fights. That might require them to use Venge as their initiator.
I'm just going to run straight into the Shadow Fiend. Let's see if they got
That's the burst
with the
damage.
Sunstrike. They do, without a doubt. He is going to start the fight. And, I mean, looks like the 4 other heroes are going to be able to escape, but this is alone without a buyback. He just bought out for the Scepter, and Michael might have very close to getting caught entering the high ground, but no Shadow Fiend now for 60 seconds.
Talk about the damage. That's the Conda right there. Like, without the Conda, he probably wouldn't have had that burst damage at the end there to bring him down. But this Tiny's just a monster right now. His net worth is just out of control. He's just going to go high ground again. And there goes the swap. They're going to try.
And they're going to be able to do it.
Once.
All right. Daedalus from Witch showcasing he might actually have the damage that is required. Now with a jump in, Ryo's going to commit the Doom, but again, how are you stopping the disengage from all the items the supports have built up? Michael's going to be able to get out of the Sunstrike radius. Meanwhile, these barracks are still falling.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And that Doom didn't... Like, I don't even know if you can Doom Tiny. With the amount of status resistance that he has, it's like your Doom duration is reduced by 40%. He just has to back up for a quick 6 seconds, and then he's good to re-engage again. Game's looking harder and harder by the second here, but for Fusion, I think your only real hope here is it's got to be alone. He's got to hit a really big ultimate, and we just haven't seen it this game, not even once. He does have the Ags available, so that'll help. But he doesn't have enough souls right now. He actually needs to start farming some souls. He's getting pinged by the Hoodwink. Like, go get your souls, buddy. Or playing versus no BKB Tiny. You've got to have some impact in this game.
Does how fast the Tiny just died, though, the barriers give you some confidence that there could be some plays where you swap him back again into your one stun Infernal Blade and the Daedalus from Gyrocopter? Is that something that can be discussing now?
You are definitely discussing about killing him. However, as if you're Tiny, you should be thinking in your head, I need a BKB. As he has queued up a Rapier and a BKB. Hopefully the BKB comes first. It's like, do I want a Rapier or do I want a BKB? Thinking.
I'm going to say, I should be thinking about a BKB, and I just see a Rapier in his first quick
they got the Doom.
Ryu. Doom out with the Requiem, but the instant Glimmer Cape as well. They don't have detection. It's going to step over the northern side, but now they have it. Swap back in the middle. Have they got the catch? 4 stuffs galore and the status resistance. Tiny, the grand escape. I mean, there are multiple fights continuing to break out. They've done their job to keep the Tiny alive. It was an all or nothing play-in. You were saying, do you really want to Doom in this status resistance? It's not going to last long. Prada runs into the Sunstrike. Not enough damage, but they are hunting their prey. Witz's artillery is raining down. It's a beacon of where he's retreating. And now Adrian was able to snipe Prada as well down to the south. Tiny's not done just yet with a tree throw, blows him up inside the base. 1,000 crit to the dome as Lava going for the jugular, full set of barracks bottom. This will be Megas.
Yeah, that was a close attempt, and you really have to just credit Lava how well they were with all of those defensive plays made. The Force Staff, the Glimmer Capes, they were all there for the Tiny. None of them were Tiny. He went all damage this game. So they managed to just go ahead and save him. The Pugna with double force. Oh, so basically, you don't go for Diffusal Blade anymore because your attacks in general, you're not playing around Swashbuckle. So from what I did was just Echo, which is what most everyone else is doing. It's like some Echo, either Ags or Echo into Manta, and eventually Ags. And you just double jump and hit 2 heroes, and then you have a shield that is like 200 HP barrier. And they're going to try and get Prada here, but it will not be successful. But yeah, the hero feels a little bit nutty, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. It feels like you're just always doing so much damage. And if you look at his level 10 talents now, +4 lucky shot armor reduction. So everyone always went to swashbuckle slash range, but now it's all about the shield crash. You don't really care about your swash. You're maxing your W. In most cases, you're actually getting a point on lucky shot at level 4, and you're just right-clicking people. And you're just sitting there just like reducing so much armor. And the armor reduction was increased in 7.36 to have do 9 minus armor. So if you add that with the talent on top of it, you're just like reducing a lot of these heroes just all their armor. Hero like Faceless Void will just have 0 armor against them. And when you're playing against like a troll or something like that, that can be very devastating. There's a lot to talk about this Pangolier, but I'm sure he's going to do really well in the lane and kind of just show you why it's so good. But Faceless Void is a good pick against it, because every time you do your shield crash on him, you kind of just time block it off, right? So that harass won't necessarily be there.
Have you played the Void as well? Because I just saw one of his...
Yeah.
The facet, the temporal impunity. It kind of sounds like you immune for a second, but is that actually... How does that feel? Is that valuable? Or does it kind of sound better than what it is?
It's one of those situations where 1 out of 10 games you might notice it.
Bottom lane, 555. Actually, once again, they're going to start with the tri lane. He's going to get first blood. So it was Lava actually last game that we saw with the tri lane. Now Fusion, they're going to replicate that, and they will definitely, without a doubt, be rewarded.
Yep, very good. I mean, the one issue with Faceless Void is that last patch, at some point during that patch, he was like the best hero in Dota by far. So they took the approach of making his early game weaker and weaker and weaker, but he still kind of keeps his late game dominance. Moral of the story is Faceless Void doesn't win any single lanes in Dota. So it's going to give Pango a free game, which is a little bit concerning. But they do have like Faceless Void and Phoenix. It's going to be another team fight heavy lineup from Fusion like they had in their last game. And it's going to be another big skirmishing type of lineup as well for Lava. You're really just going to have to, if you want to play these big team fight lineups, you got to have good communication. You got to have good team fighting. And that's what they're really going to have to focus on this particular game.
And what do we make of them actually sending Prada down bottom? The traditional position 5 with the Phoenix playing with the Slardar instead of the techies?
I think they just made the call because the Phoenix can actually harass the troll in the laning stage. And I think Phoenix can get out of cogs a little bit. Yeah, it's so annoying. This is like, yep. It's absurd.
Did you see, I don't know if he meant it, but he brought the Hellbear over as well. So he got stuck inside the cogs and it clapped for extra damage on Prada. I don't know, that was kind of fun.
I think in general, just Clockwork is a very funny hero to watch. The fact you can just kick your cogs and there's all types of things. You can jetpack around. I don't know. This hero triggers me, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. I got PTSD against playing as this hero, getting stuck in cogs and him kicking 2 cogs at me, burning all my mana. Here we go again. Oh, that was a really good job by them. But will it be enough? They might actually get Ryu here.
Looks like it. Ooh, had a decent stick. 555, not going to have enough damage on Prada. So unfortunately, level 2 with the Phoenix might actually give up a kill. Dart gets him lucky and snaring the cogs back up. Stepped in tower range, but not going to matter in the end.
All right.
do want to speak about this mid lane. I don't know if you've seen this crash landing. I mean, you probably have, but I was watching a game yesterday. Blitz was actually streaming, and he was landing versus a Tiny who went the crash landing and maxed out toss. I did not know how much damage this did. It's a ridiculous amount inside the lane if you just start spamming. That Tiny went like, he went crazy. Like when Bottle Soul Ring as well was just like mass spamming this toss, and I was so surprised how much damage it was doing.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does a lot. But you know who else does a lot of damage? Storm Steel. And
That's true.
And right now the Storm is beating him a little bit in the harass department. The fact you can just chuck remnants at people now, it's very, very obnoxious. Especially for heroes like Tiny who have got to get in close there. But yep, the tosses are going to keep coming out. The remnants are going out. The 4-minute water runes are also out. That looks like they might just trade at 1 apiece here. Alone level 5. So the Fakers, well, he's got 3 creeps. Going to go in.
Cogs actually 555 is going to be able to
kick him.
Heroes inside. Cogs bounce back
no.
once the second and kill for them. So this is a very trade heavy lane. We see the Wraith Bam stick early on for Dad. You've also going to force out a lot of regen as well. Of course, Ryu's got a brace, so going treads, but we're seeing a lot of skirmishes top lane as well. Now Michael, he was also getting chased down, but apologies, Shield Crash was already used. Faded the Observer.
Yep, just a little bit of trading here. Pango, no surprise, winning the top lane, but not by a lot. The thing, and see, every single time you put a spell on the Pango, he just jumps and hits 2 heroes, and guess what? That's a level 2 sticky bomb that shoot through half of the shield. Like, it's absurd. Because this shield is an all damage barrier. It's no longer just physical damage. So you're eating spells, all types of damage, and they're going to go in. I think Techies might be done for here. Swashbuckle in 1.
With the silence.
Oh, he missed? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Got a Lotus.
The kill in the end. Maybe can go for a deny. Jukes down to the south. Actually pops the urn. Is he going to think he's living through this? I guess Shield Crash up shortly, and he will live through it.
And he might have to use that extra urn charge there to keep him in the lane. I know he doesn't want to use it. Oh, he really doesn't want to use it. He's going to TP back to base and save that for a kill opportunity later on. I guess he does have a double wave coming his way, so it does make a lot of sense here as we gear up for the 6-minute rune. 4 heroes in the mid lane. It looks like Alone will be getting that illusion rune.
Double null for the Storm Spirit. I don't know if this is a bit of an early commitment as well. I think I've been seeing Storms go for 1 null more recently.
You missed the patch where they went 5 nulls?
Oh, I don't miss that. No, that was so stupid. There's, yeah, I mean, there's been some interesting ones. Yeah, we it's not as bad as the 5 nulls, but just the Meteor Hammer for the efficiency.
I mean, I think
That's
he
kind of
should get a Meteor Hammer.
Yes. I think that is way too good on the Storm Spirit.
Yeah. I think that's the usual build here, but Alone gonna go for his own build for now. Just going Shreds double null. We'll see if he makes a pit stop for the Meteor Hammer after that, though. Plenty of time to decide what to do here, as he is, I mean, doing really well in the mid lane. I mean, him getting that rune is meaning he might get the mid tower too.
Oh wow. That's in deny range almost.
Silence is there, but you don't have the damage.
Okay. One thing to quickly mention, Lava were able to steal the Wisdom Room, 555 on the clockwork, because wrapped all the way around. So he's already level 5. Pampalone is already level 5 as well. They're about to get the Wisdom. There's going to be some really early level 6s, which could be important. I mean, these are some huge ultimates. Faker, unfortunately, a little bit too late to stop Prada from being able to steal the double bounty. It would be a kill. And yeah, I mean, the extra experience for the Clockwork, and the fact that your Clock and Sky are going to be hunting across the map together pre 10 minutes could be they actually might not have a way to address that on Fusion, and if you start to get these kills, all of a sudden could snowball out of control.
Yeah, I think right now, especially this Sky at 8 minutes is already level 6. Clockwork, he's going to get a little bit more EXP too, and he's getting close to level 6 as well. And it could be devastating because the support's level 4 and level 4 only. And yeah, I think it's actually going to be very devastating. If they play their cards correctly with these level 6s, it's going to be a big problem. But for now, they're going to rely on alone here. What is that damage?
What?
That's the crash landing plus the amplify damage rune.
Oh my god, and he should be dead too if they want a hook shot. They might not need it. 555 can actually chase him down, and they've got Adrian actually with the wraparound, so yeah, we are going to see Lava be able to pump out a lot of early game damage here with these heroes. You get the deny on the tower. It's unfortunate it goes down, but I suppose a little bit of gold to get closer, Faker closer towards that Blink Dagger.
What a rune to have on that Tiny there, because like if you keep it in all things considered, right, the amplified damage is 15% more spell amp, and then you have the crash landing, which is giving you what, bonus 40% as well on your toss damage. And then we're not done there. We had a level 2 ancient seal giving 25% more increased magic damage, right? And that storm just evaporated.
I already like kind of what they've done though for Fusion, the importance of setting up these river wards to be able to scout out Faker on rotations to the side lanes, because this is about to be a game where you are going to see the Tiny constantly moving. And I guess to go back to that tower going down mid lane, it is kind of important because it can help shove the wave out, and it might be obvious that, you know, someone's moving just with the creep wave being close towards Radiant side of the map, but see if they're going to be able to convert on these kills, because they will scout out Michael inside the jungle. Mystic Flare, first one of the game, and a kill. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to secure the rune. It will be a regen down bottom. Still going to go for it. All right. He's going to go. No one's playing with 555. Faker's going to start to move over.
What did I just witness?
Okay, I don't know what I'm... Alone gets the kill. He's out of mana. Faker is also out of mana as well. They're going to start to TP in the techies. Alone is just standing still. He's just, I don't know, pretending to be DC with the wraparound from Ryu. Wits is here as well, so the Faceless Void wanting to rotate early on. The neutral creep is not going to work in Faker's favor, and Wits gets the double kill off the back of the early rotation for the Void.
He's playing with his food there. He's just like, yeah, come here. I'll just stand here. I'll make it easy for you. Bait them in. And then that's exactly what they did there. And a little too deep, but the rotation on Dad here. Chronosphere is available. But it's just doing some sightseeing, I guess, here. Going back to the top lane now. Respecting the fact that Tiny was going to respawn soon, and Pangolier did have a TP available. And the Pango is actually going for a Spirit Festival this game. I haven't really seen this adaptation of the build yet, but against Faceless Void, this is one way to make sure that the damage you do to him doesn't get fully backtracked.
I guess maybe as well mitigating some of the Sunray, but it's very early on, and Sunray's, like, I don't know how much actually that comes into play.
Yeah, it's just a little bit different. I think it's fine though. You are a universal hero, so the 6 to all attributes is always kind of nice. Not really going for that right-clicking type of build. Almost always saw the Echo Saver, but I don't hate it.
Faker. That's
Dead again.
nice kill. Alone and Michael combination together. Michael's now got level 6 here for the tech. He's going to set some mines up to try and secure with a power rune. Alone's also going Orchid, so this is another bit of a different style here. Some the new item builds that we're getting out of some of the heroes.
It's like the new old build.
True.
Used to be a staple for this hero, but just the mana regen has been nerfed too many times for Storm to really want to pick it up in most games.
It's an interesting one though, because we do see at the moment like Storm is a very snowball heavy hero like it used to be with the Bloodstone. And I wonder, because Orchid also kind of goes down that route of being very snowball heavy. And I wonder if just the extra regen you have with Galvanize is enough to warrant you going for this item. Alone, I don't think there's any way you kill Faker. Wits is here though.
I think there's a way.
Himself, but with the help of the egg along with Ryu's jump in, there is a way. And Adrian, he's going to be too late to respond, and they even holds him for a second as well. So Lava unable to find any counter kills.
And this game is looking really good in the communication department for Fusion. Like, they're on point right now with all the rotations right now. This is something I haven't seen a lot of, but they're gonna try and go onto the storm here. But there's not enough damage here. The Mystic Flare being on cooldown, not gonna help him out too much. I was very curious on like what facet you would get on the Skywrath Mage too. And he went to go for the one that gave him just the defensive one, I think is what it is. I'm gonna go read through it real quick. Like, Shield of the Scion. Okay, every time Skywrath deals magic damage, he gains magic damage bear. The other one is every time he does magic damage, he reduces his ability points.
Oh, okay.
Orchid's here.
Shield crash. It's not going to matter against an Orchid once alone shows that 14 minutes in. And he's actually even going to zip on forward for more. He's lacking the mana to follow up. And Plona's going to be able to get back to the tower. Man, what happened to this early game? I feel like we're seeing multiple times now. The team that wins the lane, something's just going on where they're not converting that. You know, this was a really early level 6 from the Clock in the Sky. We haven't seen them play together. And just Fusion's rotations with the team fight heavy heroes have actually rewarded them to have a 4,000 net worth lead. Now they're taking aggressive camps away inside Lava's jungle. Like, this is looking very dominant from them.
Yeah, I feel like there was definitely a lot of potential for this Clock and Sky. They were the big breadwinners of the laning stage, but Tiny, he struggled mid. Like, he almost lost his tower at 6 minutes into the game. He's sitting at 0-3 right now. And I was like a little surprised too, but this troll eventually tapered off in the laning stage too, and Slardar was free farming bot lane. Sure, Clock and Sky were doing good. Panga was doing good as well, but that's expected. But I think you're right. Just not enough rotations happened with 555 and Pamplona on the map here, especially onto that Storm Spirit when they had the opportunity to do so. I mean, they still have an opportunity to do so. You have no Dispel available on the Storm Spirit. You just have this Orchid, so you are squishy. And this level 3 silence will kill you. They just got to get in position to find them. But so far, Alone has just been at the right place at the right time here. And the big issue of this game now, we haven't really mentioned it too much, is Ryu. He's been quietly farming away, free farming. Does have a Blink Dagger available now. And he's actually pretty close to a Yule's too. This is a very scary Slardar.
See that teetering around the mid lane here for Lava. An Arcane Rune, huge for Storm if he's able to find it. Zip over the top, Faker wants to initiate. I mean, it's everything committed for the Slardar, and they're not even going to get the kill. That's your Blink Dagger reveal. And once again, Adrian's here, but it's a late rolling Thunder.
He's in the air.
To look at it, a little bit awkward inside the Chronosphere. Adrian, is he going to be able to escape with the Blink back up from Ryu? Should be able to dive under the T2 tower. And that is 4 heroes gone.
Yeah,
Adrian, yeah, is dead. Alone, still had the Arcane Rune to work with. I mean, this game is just, it's completely out of control now. 7,000 net worth lead for the boys on Fusion.
Yeah, you're not feeling good about this one because you're against the superior team fight, right? This is supposed to be your time of the game. You're supposed to be running around Tiny and Clock and Sky, getting all these kills and pickoffs. That way Troll can have time to just hit creeps and farm it up, but it's just not working out this way. Faker's game is just, every time he goes in, he's just dead. Or sometimes he's just dead anyway, just trying to farm a wave. And it's not over, but this game is not going to get easier. As long as Fusion, this is the big if, they can keep consistency here going. Patience and discipline is going to be the name of the game here.
Oh, he's able to activate the battle trance early on. That was still going to send him over towards Fusion where they're trying to set up 555 with a hook shot in. They're going to target down Michael. Quick and easy kill. This is still the one thing for Fusion. You are reliant on your team fight abilities. Supernova, Chronosphere on cooldown currently. Faker's got the blink up in a couple of seconds if he wants to stalk, but Fusion is still playing with 4. Faker's going to find the toss back. There needs to be more damage. Again. They're all grouping up on top of the Mystic Flare, and Faker's just gone. And now Dad enters the middle of the fight without the battle trance. This is your Battle Fury troll that wants to be farming, but he is dying along with his core now, even without their ultimate fusion. We'll find a good trade for them. They're going to wrap around onto 555. Alone comes through the river. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Yeah, that's the last thing Troll needed in this game, was to die there. Like, he desperately wants to get to his BKB. And you have to keep in mind, that was a fight with no chrono and no egg. You just slightly miscalculate your damage there. And I think, no fault to Tiny's, this is just kind of how the hero functions. You got to go in there and get a kill and then go back out. But the problem is, when he goes in, he doesn't get these kills. He just doesn't do enough damage right now. And we're going to see here like some toss back, which is anti-synergy with the clockwork. He actually knocked him back with the cogs mid-toss, which I think probably would have saved his life there. A little bit unfortunate there for that to happen. And yeah, as mentioned before, that was your fight with no chrono, no egg. Once this game gets underway again, it is going to be against the Chronosphere up again. But you do have some avenues. Or do you? Does Faceless Void? I mean, Faceless Void is really close to his Manta style. Once he completes that, well, your option of bursting him with a Skywrath is going to be dead and gone. Storm, he's not even going to bother for any dispel. He's just going straight into an Eternal Shroud, realizing most of the damage that is being outputted here by the side of lava is going to be magic damage. I mean, he might just be right. It might just be enough to save him, even if they go on him with everything, with the Sunray. Potentially, he will just survive that one.
And I think the most scary thing about this is the fact, like, how do you scale this game? Because you're playing into team fights. This is a big thing for Fusion, where like Lava are very pick-off. Yeah, they're very pick-off focused, single target, and this damage can tend to fall off if you are going to itemize as they are. I mean, Eternal Shroud, another one from Ryu. They are just trying to do their best to tank up against the burst from Lava.
And if you just look at the damage output here, well, Sky, see you later, buddy. But maybe they can get a return kill here. He's got an Eternal Shroud, I don't know.
Not killing Slardar. Yeah, he's not dying, and they're already responding on Fusion. Alone is here, TP's coming through to the outpost as well. Alone's gonna try and get the jump in. And with Ryu's extra fault, that's all the control they need to kill off Adrian. They might even go for 555 if they really want to. Ryu's considering it, but everyone else was a little bit too far away to be able to convert on that opportunity, so they will back on up.
I wonder if Pangolier at this stage of the game is kind of regretting his choice of items here. I haven't seen this vessel being too fruitful, honestly, and we're seeing in these fights, without this Echo Saber, without treads, he's pretty squishy. And I think the whole point of like this new Pangolier is like you get in there with Echo Treads and you use your shield crash and like they just can't kill you. But every time they see him, he's just dead here. And maybe even the Slardar, the troll, he's gonna maybe have to ult for this one. And if he doesn't want to ult, he's just gonna die. But even if he does ult, I think he's just gonna die anyway because he's tickling right now. It's a tickle monster.
He's just gone. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what he does. And now Faker and Pampaluna are smoking to try and get wits. This is before the Manta is completed. They're gonna go for the maximum amount of chain control, and finally they're able to get some sort of kill with their pick-off lineup, but Faker will still go down nonetheless. They're actually looking to roll in. Adrian doing whatever he can to keep the Tiny alive. Michael sacrificing his life, or maybe Faker's able to blink. They got the vision though. Ryu's going to be able to stalk him. No TP for you. Stopped at the buzzer. And now, I mean, Adrian, he's kind of stuck here. Pampaluna at least will be able to TP, but they found the Pango. So, yes, you killed off the Faceless Void wits, but in the end, that is a grave cost for you.
And this is why Storm Spirit is oftentimes feared as a hero right now in this patch. The infinite scale. I'll keep talking about it. All these heroes that have the infinite scale, they're scary. I'm sitting at 22 galvanized stacks already here for the Storm Spirit. If you allow this hero to snowball, he might be the best in the business at snowballing a game, as he's gonna take a look at bottom lane here with the Faceless Void. Hit by the Whirling Axes. Alright, luckily those Whirling Axes hit. Oh, Wits, he's thinking about
Oh,
it.
mana now for alone.
Yeah, I think he just may give you a
He might actually
freebie.
have to use the chrono. Okay, yeah, that is a freebie. There you go. And that's a big streak as well.
That was the definition of a freebie there. Like, I think the moment you realize you zip into like the whirling axis, you got it back. He missed like 4 or 5 of his hits there because of the mischance there, but he decided to still stick around and be like, nah, we got this. And then maybe a little bit of miscommunication that we are seeing from Fusion from time to time is going to result in potentially a Roshan here. You do have Chrono available.
Get some kills. See if they're going to be able to use their ultimate
tanky.
together. They're lacking the Phoenix currently. 555 still going to go down, but now with the Chronosphere inside the middle. Wits can't right click because the cogs and the Rolling Thunder.
Where's
Making
Phoenix
it
at?
messy in the end, but yeah, without the egg, you see the synergy isn't there. He's starting to come towards the tail end of the team fight. But the BKB from that also doesn't get any kills. Now Ryo's going to counter initiate. Back into the trees they go. And they're just going to leave the troll. It looks like they are. They want nothing to do with trying to protect their carry. Now Alone is back alive. Out of mana already. Unable to get that jump with the fresh mana pool. So looks like Lava will make it away. But there was a potential opportunity. They thought like they were going to be able to take Roche. And now that's a fight where Fusion can look to enter the pit with 2 points Corrosive Haze. It should go down relatively easily.
You're just too far ahead at this point on Fusion for those little mistakes to matter too much here. Luckily for them, they will still get this Roche, even though after a bit of a interesting team fight, to say the least here. The Chronosphere wasn't the greatest, but maybe it did buy just enough time for that Slaughter to not die in there by canceling out the Rolling Thunder. But that's not exactly how you want to do it, and you kind of see in this fight here. You start this fight, you get a triple Chrono, but Phoenix is still walking there. Wits doesn't get a single hit off of my Chronosphere. They bait out the BKB. I think this is maybe where you potentially say go back, because if you look at the Storm spawn timer, that's 5 seconds until he's up, and they have a tier 1 there, but they overcommitted it just a little bit too hard. Kind of like the bane of the existence of these teams in the lower bracket here in the SA qualifier. The patience is just lacking.
Top tower is under attack.
Control ended up soloing the Tormentor with his ultimate. A little bit of injection of gold going to the Clockwork. He can now fly around in the jetpack, making him
Nice.
further more of a nuisance.
80 now as well for Alone Storm Spirit.
Is this
We're gonna
Slaughter
strike
going to be
aggressively.
killable when he finishes his Ags and the 1,000 gold?
I know, he's already unkillable by the looks of it.
Tower is
Well, he's going to be
I know.
furthermore unkillable.
3,100 health. And is survivable. 11,000 net worth lead.
middle tower is under attack.
And let's see if they're going to be able to take ages and continue to hold the map here from Fusion. That smoke, unfortunately, not connecting from them.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, getting these kills on Storm really help a lot, though.
Like mid lane. Showed for a second, and that's all they need. A glimpse
Yep.
onto Hero means Alone's always going to be there across the map.
This really isn't Faker's game.
Dire's middle tower.
Sitting at 0 and 7 as the mid tiny.
Radiant's
Going for a Kaya Yasha. Is that the build?
I don't know.
Now, what do you
I
need
wouldn't-
faster cast times on Tiny for? Am I missing something?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm
That's
just
an
gonna,
interesting one.
definitely gonna assume I'm missing something on this one. So I don't think he would build it without an idea in mind.
Bottom
We'll just have
lane.
to see.
Ooh,
Chrono.
that's not going to make it. The time is not long enough. Chrono's going to have to be used here from Wits. And with the Orchid, it's really lacking some damage. I mean, this is where the what the innate from the pink lead looked like was actually coming into play with no Maelstrom along with the Bash procs. Now they might look to jump Prada, but you got to be really cautious, man. If it's not a quick initiation, Fusion is starting to clump up with their heroes down bottom. It's a big blast off from Michael in the middle. It's going to give an opportunity for the Supernova. Now they're all stuck into the court. No, it doesn't work in their favor. Dart is forced to try and turn, do whatever he can, stands his ground, but it's not enough in the end. Moments of peace into his death, sent to the coffin, And now they've got the ward in the back line as well. He's going to be able to catch up to 555. Look at the mana on alone. Looks like he's lacking it, so will not be able to follow up here with that initiation with a slider, but another tower's going to go down. Another good fight from Fusion.
It's definitely getting into that unplayable territory. Yeah, this Slider just sitting there. Plus 22 bonus armor. Does not care about this Troll Warlord whatsoever. He just tanked the full ultimate and maybe lost 25% of his health. And it was funny enough about it, he didn't even try right-clicking back to bash it. He's just like, I'll just let you hit me for free here. Realize it's not going to do much of anything. The Galvanize continues to be weaponized here in this game as he's sitting at 9 mana regen permanently. Oh, there's a troll top. Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do, indeed. Oh my lord. More galvanizing up. Pempalona as well shows himself and a beacon for a freebie on alone. Like, all right, you pop out for a second and look at them already setting up bottom. Fusion not even giving them a moment of peace to be able to farm the opposite side of the map. Oh, okay. All right, not bad for Adrian.
Very close. Yeah, I mean, this Pango build is like full defensive mode now. This is not the way that he wanted this game to go. He wanted to be more aggressive with this Vessel, but it was forced into just being... Honestly, this is like the type of offlane Pango we see time and time again just not look good. Where you're just like really squishy, you can die easily, really trying something new. I think just maybe a mistake to potentially go for this Vessel here in this game. It's not been paying dividends whatsoever. But they're going to try and smoke right away here as Yasha and Kaya is available for the timing. Still waiting to see which this is going to accomplish here.
It's in the new tech.
Certainly.
Not a bad kill. A lot of their team fighting prowess.
It's good.
Now they're going to turn to Riot. We've seen this hero is not an easy one to be able to bring down without a doubt. They're going to do everything they can, especially with the Troll Warlord locked onto the slider. BKB battle trends, maybe this is enough. They just don't have detection.
They can't kill him.
Away. Now Wits, they brought enough time for this Faceless Void to be able to come across the map and drop the Chrono. Alone still got mana as well to catch up to 555. That TP's a Hail Mary play.
Oh my goodness. This Slardar is beyond a problem. Like, Troll was hitting him for a solid 15 seconds in that fight. And they still couldn't kill him. They got the Vessel off too, slowing down his regen, doing percentage-based damage. None of it seemed to matter. Your Phoenix died first in that fight. Void was so late to that fight, but because Slardar took so long to kill, it didn't really even matter at the end of the day. And Scotty is now online for Wits. Yeah, you're going to see in this replay here just how tanky this Slardar is. He has 3 heroes on him, and it just isn't enough. And alone in the back line, poor Tiny, man. Like, Faker just hasn't had a game here. He just hasn't got to play Dota. Now sitting at 0-9 as the mid Tiny. I heard big things about this crash landing Tiny, but haven't got the full impact quite yet.
No, we definitely haven't. Right? Should be able to run into 555. I know, we saw previously you couldn't kill this guy. And I don't know, Fear. I don't think it's going to be any different this team fight as well. This Slider is okay. And he's actually starting to run down some of the lava members, and they might just call it quits here. They're going to buy back on the clock, but no one else is going to buy back. Adrian is gone at the front of their base. There was not even... there was no contest in that team fight. And yeah, they've had enough. This game is over with. We're going to go to our first game 3 here at the qualifiers.
That is exciting, though. And it's very nice to see, especially for Fusion, to finally show some fight, right?
Praising Fusion's draft. You like this Ursa pick a lot. Overall, besides, I don't know what's Alone saying. Go Popeyes, no invite. I don't know. He's saying something. Yeah, overall, like, you really like the bear, but what about the 4 other heroes compared to Lava? Do we like this Fusion draft as much as what they've been doing prior?
So I think, oh, both these guys warded the same spot from the smoke, but I think they end up seeing it. I really like Lava's draft, to be honest with you. I think it's very well rounded. It has a lot of ways to get on top of Lina. The support's kind of unaffected with this lifestealer. The only issue I have is that if Ursa gets very farmed, I think he just tears apart the whole Lava lineup. Like, that's the only issue. Like, very rarely do I see a last pick this good. So, yeah, Lava's draft is still good. They can still easily win this game, but they have to be very, very careful about how farmed this Ursa can get.
Let's see if they're going to be able to shut down the bear or not. Has some wits. Looks like Alone will get that D word, like you were saying. Let's place their prior. And Bounty Faker's going to be able to snag that too. So, at least in regards to Wits' lane matchups, Adrian has gone for Windlace and Stick to start. So, expecting he's going to take a lot of spells with Prada and maybe looking to just, I don't drag waves potentially with the Windlace, or at least play distance against the Ursa.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to. Because if you get too many, you don't have a stun, right? So you can't really take this Ursa off. And that's like the only concern here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if this Ursa, even at like level 2 or something, grab a point and overpower. Because that is what's gonna just hard counter the Phoenix in this game here. And of course, mid lane, we'll see. When you get around level 3, 4 on this Lina, if you can push out this DK or not, is going to be the question of the day for me. Because with the most recent nerfs to the DK, he's not as survivable as he used to be. Like, you don't get the Dragon's Blood anymore as well, where you can just like hit level 3 and put 2 points in a Dragon's Blood, right? That doesn't exist anymore. So this lane matchup is going to be slightly different.
And then bottom again, we've seen the Pengo a couple times. Last game he had a free lane. Are we expecting this to be similar, where the Pengo is able to have a pretty good time?
As far as I'm concerned, any lane that has a hoodwink in it is going to be fine.
Okay.
I think that hero just in general, I don't know if it can lose a lane. I'm not sure if it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. Seeing this hero be incredibly dominant. Of course, once again, going for the tree bounce. That's a top lane. Adrian getting chased down with some Prada. This already has to be a concern if you are getting first blood in the lane of the Ursa, who you are expecting to be the ultimate force this game to win it all. Then giving the boys first blood is not a good start.
Oh, it's definitely not. That pretty much cements that he's gonna free farm, unless he like runs into their tower and feeds or something. I don't know, which is possible. He'll probably free farm. So a good start for Fusion though. Up to 1k gold lead already. I'm trying to keep an eye on Faker here. He's kind of getting a little bit low. It's okay for now. And yeah, that's Hoodwink for you.
Hoodwink and go now level 3 as well. Lacking a little bit of mana, but it looks like getting the kill importantly before the Lotus. Should be able to secure the one down bottom. Wit's got the one up top as well, so Fusion going to be able to find both the Lotuses here to work with inside the lane. Does look like Lena's having a pretty good time. 21, 17 and 3 though. Faker's double bracer now importantly level 4, so see if that region's going to kick in. Is forced to go for another set of tangos though.
I mean, it looks like he's doing fine in this lane. I don't think this lane's going to get any more difficult for him. So it seems even with the nerf to DK, it's still good enough to deal with the Lena's harassment. That was like my only concern about it, so that's definitely good news for Lava that the DK is doing well against the Lina. Of course, you're not stopping the Lina. Like, I think in the later patches, DK would just shut the Lina down, but in this one, I think it's just more of like an even lane now. And they're using a glyph for an aggressive dive in the top lane here. But it really didn't achieve what they wanted. Fire spirits are down.
Prada was enough to send Adrian away with that Scorch Earth, so now they're not going to be able to continue to recontest with this extra creep wave that went under the tower, so Wits will free farm.
I think that glyph being on cooldown might be an issue later on in this game, because heroes like Lina and DK, I suppose, if you ever leave them alone, they'll just take your tower. And again, Michael on this hoodwink, he's making him hit the trees. Isn't that like the weirdest innate ability?
That's so weird, actually. Yeah, what is this?
15% chance to redirect your attack into a tree, and that's what happened there. Like, Dad clicked a tree instead of hoodwink.
So it's just okay. That's so weird. I don't remember. Was the Scurry? Did it have the base evasion and then more evasion if you were near trees, or was it?
Yeah, I mean it had the base evasion and then also the talents that would give it more evasion. But I think you had to be near trees no matter what for it to really work.
Adrian top lane. It's a Fury Swipe start going. Wits is going to sink his claws in, and now Pampelona. So of course okay with the dive, but a second death now. Onto Adrian's Doom. This is really getting to some dangerous territory. 2,000 net worth lead for Fusion.
Yeah, and they kind of showcased in that fight. Even though he had the Fire Spirits on, he gets at least 3 free attacks, right? And that was enough to end up killing the Doom there. And Doom, full defensive mode this game. Just has to go for a Windlace boots. Ursa now picking up a Windlace of his own. Gonna be level 5. If the Phoenix ever leaves the lane, Doom's just dead. Pretty certain of that. And
now, not that the Phoenix is a very good rotating hero to secure these runes, but try it. Mid lane actually glimpse back. Alone's got no mana. Enough for a Dragon Slave, and especially with Michael nearby as well. Losing a Dragonite, which was really the one person that was having a pretty solid lane so far, is really going to make it difficult. And again, we're seeing, because of the good start top lane, Adrian can't even play solo into the Ursa.
Alright. And your glyph is on cooldown too, by the way. Because you used it for that dive on the top lane, and now you're gonna lose at least half of your tower's HP in the mid lane. Would have loved to have that glyph available for that. In bot lane, going on the Pango. Rotation from the DK, and they will get it.
Not bad. Faker moving. Just ultimately, the game's going to reward them a kill. Prada's doing some crazy stuff with the Disruptor as well. Trying to snipe it.
Is he going to get it?
Might get it. Never mind. Okay. The Pampelona has to TP in as well. That is 2 supports now stuck top. Which, let's see what they want to do with Fusion. I mean, this can give you a lot of freedom to make plays across the map, knowing that a couple of TPs are now on cooldown for the supports.
Yeah, you're not really too sad about that. Like, you're giving free farm to both of your cores, right? Just because you drug 2 supports there to come and kill you. Ursa's free farming. Ursa's taking the gate. He's actually going to make a play on this bot lane. They really want to kill this lifestealer. He's not level 6 yet. This could be problematic.
To the bush back.
I mean,
he's really close to level 6. Yeah, but okay, no, he died so fast with the Fury Swipes. And again, mid lane actually now. Alone doesn't even need the Lacuna Blade to be able to get the kill. Now actually going to try and use it onto Pampelona, but lacking the little bit of damage that was necessary for the finishing blow. But that is where the Dragon Slave is able to come into play. Faker's going to try and chase him down, but
oh no.
Honestly, by himself, it's not going to be a possibility. Up to 3,000 net worth lead now.
Yeah, all 3 cores now are on the rise here. You do have some good team fights still available on Lava, so this isn't the biggest setback in the world, but it is a problem. This god tier Ursa game is not being stopped, and this lifestealer, well, he's having a rough one. He's definitely not thriving in this lane here whatsoever. Doom also struggling. Of course, the DK was doing okay, and yes, but with his death, really slowed him down a little bit, but they're going to use the smoke out now. Could be a big kill in the bot lane if they can get Ryu.
Go for Michael instead, though, and might not even get the kill into the Hoodwink. Be lucky with his positioning there. Dragon Tail still connects. making them work for it in the end. They got to be quick with the TPs. Faker, so they get a glimpse of him. Prado a little bit too late with the ward. Try and stop the TP with the glimpse, and Ryo, unfortunately, with the Rolling Thunder is not really going to have much benefit out of it as well, so kind of puts that one on cooldown.
It's a lot of hate there for the Squirrel, just finding him while he's stacking just to kill him there. But they do get him. They do indeed get him. Glyph is back online. We got the amplified damage rune hitting this mid tower. 2 supports and Alina. Looks like he'll be able to hold it off with Faker just by himself there. Now, what is the play? What is the play? Looks like Phoenix just wants to play around this DK as much as possible, realizing that this Doom cannot be helped. There's no way to help the man. How far away from Blink Dagger on DK? He's getting closer. About 600-700 gold away.
Is that what we think they're going to be waiting for Lava until they make their next aggressive play?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what we're gearing up for. Just wait, guys, let me get my Blink, and then we can potentially kill Lina, which would be a really good kill. Lina with the Boots of Travel online, going for the Aether Lens. Currently has a bottled shield rune, so that one might be a little bit of a difficult kill for now. But yeah, Phoenix plus DK can easily kill Lina, as long as she's not hasted or has a shield rune, I think. Maybe even with a shield rune, they can still kill her. It's not like she built any HP items. Just 900 HP only.
Big concern is Wits is free farming. It's Ursa. It is going to be an incredibly fast Battle Fury timing, and it's a ticking time bomb, honestly, with how you're saying this is a hero that will carry the game, and Wits, it really seems like he's going to get to that stage. So like you're mentioning about maybe trying to hunt the Lina, do you even feel like maybe instead they need to go top to somehow get a kill into the Ursa and take the tower, somehow slow him down with maybe even a Doom committed, or is it just it's a bit too late for that?
No, it's not too late. I think being able to kill Ursa or Lina are good. They're both big issues in this game. Because if you don't kill Lina, she's going to do a lot more damage in the now. Whereas the Ursa, he's like an investment for the future. So like, I would like them to stop the Lina first before the Ursa. Because the Lina could still like carry this game as well if she continues on this pace. You basically have 2 issues you have to deal with. And you're going to have to deal with both of them. But when is the question? It doesn't matter to me. Like, make a move and kill one of them. They're gonna have to. Otherwise, they're gonna get out of control. Doom is TPing mid. There's the dagger.
The jump.
Oh,
nice static storm. And Doom, he's gonna get sent packing. And now the Blink reveal.
Ursa's here.
It goes awry. And now Witch is gonna be here to be able to deal with the supernova. Oh no, man. That was what you needed, the Blink reveal to get a big kill. And now you're unable to find it. Tower goes down. And what a cool kind of read from Wits as well, like anticipating they were going to make a go with that Blink Dagger mid. He was already rotating to the lane. Looks like Dad's going to be able to find a return kill onto Michael. Faker is still nearby as well, so a secondary one here for the Lifestealer.
That chase was a little too ambitious there onto the Crystal Maiden, and they get punished on both supports there. But yeah, good read on the Ursa, but even better Static Storm by Prada. He literally drops a Static Storm, stops the Doom from going off, and he stopped the Phoenix as well from being able to use the egg. Just swooped right into a silence. That's really what turned that fight for them.
So big stats that Wits is already farming at the Ancients.
Oh, he had stacks
12
too.
and a half minute Battle Fury. Yeah, he I think it was a triple or a quad, so he's already 1100 gold on his way towards a Blink.
It's a big bear. It's a big, scary bear. This is the type of bear you wouldn't want to meet in the jungle or the forest.
This dude is it's a killer baron.
And he has another
that multiple
stack.
times. They're actually looking to smoke. Right at top lane. Should be able to find. It's only level 2 glimpse actually. Adrian pokes his head out. He'll duck back into the trees. Then with the dive on in, Static Storm just laid down on himself to protect him against the Doom, and Doom is gone. Again, the Static Storm's pretty solid so far this game here from the position 5 on Fusion, and when Ryu comes in to clean up, and this is continuing. It's looking incredibly good for Fusion. 5,000 net worth lead.
Yeah, these static storms have been on point here. And I think the big thing is, it's actually denying this Phoenix a lot from getting a good egg off, because like there's just a static storm exactly where the Phoenix would want to put a supernova. Just can't really do anything about it. You might have to do some more defensive supernovas, which honestly in a game like this, yeah, you probably do have to more defensively, because versus this Ursa and Lena, this egg isn't going to be long for this world, especially if they ever get up to BKBs. You have no ways of stopping that. Right, they found the
protection out of the shield crash. The rest of the team are a little bit to the left, though. And the Sunray along with the egg should be enough. It's a lot of hate. Freezing field as well. All the ultimates committed. But Wits is here as well with a blink dagger for the Ursa. Gonna try and catch up to Faker.
Oh, I love that.
Even the Phoenix. Yes, cool. Very cool. That's such a great mechanic.
Love that.
I don't know, whatever.
Flying off the map while TPing. Seems good.
Honestly, come on, man. They need stuff to go their way this game. Why you hating?
I'm just not hating. I just said I loved it. No sarcasm whatsoever.
No sarc. No. Oh, yeah, it's a good little addition to the game. Phoenix needs every little extra plus that he can get.
That's right. All right, Wits is heading to the enemy jungle. I thought he was going to make a little pit stop there and farm their ancients, but decided it's a little too scary. Yeah, you could, but you need someone to tank for you. Because, yeah, you die.
Comes in.
I mean, yeah, he should,
brother. Step in. Come on, brother.
Just gotta tank one for the boys here. Get in there. Come on.
Get in there.
Put your body on the line.
Come on. These supports don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
They're not used to it. Sometimes. You know, they take some smokes. Do some good stuff sometimes. There we go. Ages for Wits. When you're worried enough about the Ursa, now he's got a second life. See how active he wants to be with this, of course, with the blink. And it looks like they're going to be able to put some pressure onto the tier 1 tower top. They still have a catapult wave here as well, so this tower will go down uncontested. Lava starting to set up down bottom around the lifesteal, who, all things considering, has had a really good game. 2-1-1, third in net worth. You'll get him pretty close to the Radiance as well.
Yeah, that's step one, right? You get this Radiance online. It's not a really fast one by any means, but he did go a couple items as a pit stop, like the Orb of Corrosion and the Gloves of Haste. Unfortunately, Orb of Corrosion was not really too useful this game for the health reduction, but it'll help him stick on some targets here and there. But Ursa
How many
is...
small steps are there?
Well, I think he needs Radiance. This is going to be his farming item. After that, he probably wants to finish his Armlet, then Sange and Yasha, and then Ags, and then he'll be strong. But that's a lot of items.
Okay. Okay.
It's a lot of steps.
I'm hearing like 5-6 steps. I don't know.
But all of that is like relative to like how Ursa's doing as well. So, because the reality of Leicester is he's an OP hero still, and oh, good TP byproduct, dodging an infest gank there. Read that really well on Fusion there. They're gonna get out of dodge with no casualties for an infest play. Dad is gonna have to jump out there. You can't stop farming. You gotta keep getting that corpse eater stacks, only sitting at 334 bonus HP. That number needs to get up to like 1,000. It's a goal.
Even then, I mean, Ursa does not care about. He doesn't care about health survivability. This man will eat you up. Tower's gonna go down bottom. You do get a tower in yourself for lava. They want to smoke here, Fusion. Haven't seen a fight in a while. Looks like Ursa's even actually gonna TP to play with the boys.
Tag team them.
They got a pretty good ward. Lone's actually just gonna charge in. Oh, Lone? That Laguna just tickles
the life stealer. He's in trouble.
Here over the left side, yep, Static Storm along with the Rolling Thunder. They had the Higher Ground Wars plays prior. And up with the clinch back as soon as the Rolling Thunder passes over. Very, very nice from Fusion. And Alone tanked the Doom, apparently. So I don't know if Alone was just like just baiting to give them chaos so the rest of the team didn't TP. I don't know what was going on, but there's you have 4 heroes to rotate into the triangle, and they get 2 big kills.
Yeah, I mean, they just had a great ward watching Leicester split up to go farm, and this is where you have an Aegis on Ursa, you have a Blink Dagger, you're just running from lane to lane, killing anyone who shows up on them. Adrian, Michael's found you. You have been glimpsed, and you are now about to be bear food.
It's just... even once I dude, they are feeling themselves. Man, Prada, he deserves to be feeling like this. I really have been impressed with the Disruptor's performance this game. From the static storms early to the ward placements that he's seen, the read of the smoke ganks, Alone almost solo killing 555 to protect the Observer ward. They're coming. Alone's still going to be able to get the kill. And what can the Lifesteal really do? Not a whole lot, and not maybe baits the Phoenix to slide on over the left, and it's just not looking good in your elimination game. You want a competitive one. Unfortunately for the boys on Lava, it's looking like that might not be the case.
Yeah, you didn't... I just feel like they don't have an understanding on this Phoenix hero the way that Fusion did. Like, they drafted a DK, which is fine, but they also really needed one more hero that can really help this egg. He's dead.
It's just going to be, again, I mean, with the vision, again, is the big thing. I mean, you ping it out now, but Fusion are just playing so incredibly well around their wards across the map.
I mean, I think it really just, you made a critical error in your drafting where you pick Phoenix, and oh, team's gonna die, but who cares? You pick this Phoenix hero, and you have a CM already, so there's no flexibility to put it past 5. And you don't ban Ursa. Like, you ban some Razor or something, right? Yeah, Razor's good versus Lifesteal, sure. But Ursa's also good versus Lifesteal and Phoenix. So, like, I think it was like a really big oversight here in the drafting department from Lava. And yet again, to just kind of show you, Fusion's, like, drafting has just been solid overall. And their play just seems to be getting better, too. This is definitely one of those teams that is going to evolve through the lower bracket run.
What do you remember the other ban in the last phase?
I remember one of them was Razor, and that was enough. Like, it just wasn't the right ban. Yeah. Razor doesn't do anything to Phoenix, or Ursa owns both your heroes. All of your heroes on your team, honestly. There's not a single hero that's good for Ursa on Lava.
He bought Shard as well for the Ursa. So
yeah, you need it. That way. That's the one thing that you can do to beat Ursa. You can doom him before he gets Enrage off. But because he has Earthshock that's going to give him, he can just jump in really quick, Earthshock, and then he can think about whether he wants to rage.
Oh, man.
There we go again.
It's almost a flawless game. They scan the smoke. The reads from them, it's just been perfect. Nothing short of perfect from Fusion in this final game.
Looks like he can solo Roche right now if he wants to, but he's a little afraid of getting ganked. Just thinking about it. Yeah.
With the shard on Ursa, is this because I know previously, like when your shard used to come from Roche, you would really hope you would love to get it from that second Roche, and then now we've seen Ursas in the past like buy it. Is this one you still buy it, or are you hoping you get it from the Tormentor?
On Ursa? I mean, he already bought his, but I think in this game you have to buy it because you're playing for Stu. Okay. There's just some matchups where you need it and other ones where eventually you do want it, but it's not like an emergency. It's, as I mentioned before, you want to be able to jump in.
What is this, dude? Prada's gonna blink. Just an initiate. The Disruptor's initiating. Like, he jumps straight on top of the Lifesteal, point blank static storm. They're even gonna be able to get a glimpse on Faker. So drags back the Dragon Knight, who eats a boomerang to amplify the damage. Meanwhile, Wits as well. He's starting to go into Adrian with the flesh getting ripped apart. They're going to turn to deal with a Supernova. This is a masterclass performance from Fusion in the all-important game that they needed it.
Yeah, I mean, your options for playing this game are incredibly limited right now. And Pampelona's trying to ping around like, let's do this, this, and this, but unfortunately, this isn't a good Phoenix game, man. Like, you're playing versus Lina, and you're playing versus an Ursa, and you have no way to protect this egg. It just doesn't exist. Like, your DK really wants to protect the egg, but, you know, Ursa's got a BKB. Lena has this Blink Dagger with Boots of Travel. She's all over the place. The Flame Cloak, too. Like, maybe she'll get a BKB, but does she even need it? I don't even know. But she can kill the egg however you want. This egg is going to do absolutely nothing for you, and you can't even get on the map here. It's a sad way to go here on Lava, but that's just the reality of the situation. It's just, you really can't do much of anything right now.
Dire are scanning.
And I like this build on Ryu as well. Much better than the Vessel. This Echo Saber treads into the Lincoln Sphere.
Got him again. Another static storm from Prada with Alone's damage.
Okay, got the armlet toggle.
Man. And now Faker's actually here. Alone? Is he going to be speedy enough here with the Fiery Soul stacks? Quarter duration left. Alone. Oh, he's even going to be able to fly over the top. Alone, try and juke and jive, dance around. Faker now eats the stun, and Ryu's here. And keep in mind, the lifesteal is still stuck inside the Dragonite. No one else is coming, though. So importantly, without the Ursa, who's stealing the enemy's Tormentor, means that they will not be able to get the kill, but at least you get Alone out.
Yeah, you didn't get the kill, but you made space for Ursa to steal a Tormentor. That's 1,400 gold taken away. Well, more than that, actually, because you also get the gold, but it's a rough one. Definitely a rough one, but I feel like if they can manage to get a kill on this Lena, that'll help them a lot. But it's going to come down to Fusion having to make a lot of mistakes this game, because 24,000 gold at 25 minutes in the game is a bit obscene. And the Ursa, he waited for him to buy an item. And the moment he saw it get purchased, the energy booster, he killed the courier. Insult to injury here. It's Roshan number 2. This one is with a cheese. It's on the menu.
We've been, when we've been seeing the Shadow Fiends, we've been speaking about the Yashikara and kind of theory crafting on some other heroes who could buy it. I don't know if we brought
the
up
tiny,
Lena,
right?
But
Oh, okay.
yeah, well, yeah, no, the tiny one was great. Yeah, I mean, 100%. We should see the tiny one again. But no, the Lena one seems actually pretty good. I don't know if this is, if you brought up this as a possibility for some of those heroes, but it seems like this actually could be one of the heroes that utilizes it pretty well.
It could be, and it seems like Alone, he is the one that bought on the tiny. He's the one really trying to make this item work on Hero's side. He's bought it every single game so far.
Okay, they're going to lose the first life on the Ursa. They're going to try and play with the respawn. Supernova used early on, but the blink away wits. And now with the Rolling Thunder as well to crash into the middle with the Static Storm's going to get laid down. That's not that good, though. They'll still be able to glimpse back the Dragonite, but they didn't catch any other heroes inside the field, and it looks like Lava will escape on 4 of them, and you get the Aegis. Kind of something.
Yeah, it's good, but it's also sad that that's the best it can be. You know what I mean? It's like, you lost your DK just to take an Aegis away, which I suppose is worth it, but you need to transform this into something else too, because it's still just a net loss for you as a team, at least net worth wise and everything else. It's just you're taking away this ability for this Ursa who to dive her base, I guess. You can't do that anymore. I'm not sure if he was interested, but if he was, he won't do it now. If anything, you maybe actually you anti-synergized yourself, right? Because maybe he would have dove your base with Aegis and just died twice there with your buybacks, but instead you take away that temptation from him. You can't do it anymore.
I see.
Yeah.
Who would have thought actually killing the Aegis was is
a mistake.
Not a good thing. Yeah.
Now he's not confident to dive you in the base, in the fountain rather.
That's what they needed. A deep dive, not respecting Lava, and then all of a sudden, they turn it around, 5-man wipe because Fusion get baited, and then you walk down mid, get tier 1, tier 2. All of a sudden, maybe it's only like a 14k deficit, and then we're like, and then we still remember like Ursa could probably die like 5 times this game and still could probably win with his matchups.
Yeah, but you can't forget human error. That's how you lose games that you shouldn't be able to lose.
Oh, Dota Plus says it's still 5%. 6% probability just went up one. So maybe that 6% is human error.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They are waiting for the power rune once again. Adrian with the infested lifesteal, but I believe the Observer Ward inside the river was able to scout them out, so Alone didn't take the bait.
But here comes the smoke. Honestly, pretty good vision for the side of Lava here. they're not really playing around their vision, which is unfortunate. And they will smoke past it. He's thinking about warding there, but it might be too late. They're going to see the courier fly back. They're going to move backwards, but Dad... Uh-oh.
And Rye's going to try and get the jump in the Static Storm as well. And once Witz is there, he is gone. They all separated away from the carry. He wanted to farm.
What the hell was that?
They wanted to continue to walk. Yeah.
Like, you know they're coming. 4 of your teammates are sitting there preparing for a battle, and you just go randomly farm while yourself? Oh, that got punished. I'm glad that got punished. That was incredible.
He's got Lincolns. They're going to be able to pop it. And then with the Doom follow-up, so he'll go down inside the combo, but how many heroes is it going to cost you, though? There's one, and potentially a second. Fake it, BKB, but yeah, Winston's got a basher, and they're going to continue to hold some damage into him, so he's unable to get the blink away as Alone flies in from the opposite side of the map.
I mean, I do respect the fact that they're trying to make moves here, but they got to do it as a unified team. And on top lane, oh, Linus is going to do a bit of damage here. Is he going to chase all the way? Yep, that was beautiful. Yeah, 555 is just burning to death as collateral there. Alone is feeling himself. He had a rough game number 1.
The life sealer. Oh no, Wits.
He ran away. It was very effective.
Creep, what's the creep doing? Why is it
he's burning him? Canceling his blink.
He can't man fight when he's in the life steal form, so he's just gonna run it into the creep form.
Could be the player. Get a big black dragon just sitting there. Start your fights out like that.
Unfortunately for them, Wits is level 20, so extra Fury Swipes damage. MKB for him now as well, so have fun with your little evasion game that you've been playing off.
Yeah, I mean, that MKB is gonna increase his DPS by like 40% potentially against this lifestealer.
Oh, they're chilling, they're just farming. I mean, I guess 31 kills. They're getting a lot of kills across the map as well, but not posturing very aggressively, you know, around the triangle or closer to Radiant's base.
I mean, they're still holding more net worth lead than it is minute in the game, which is quite impressive.
How is it 4% still? What am I missing?
I mean, I feel like if the net at 30 minutes into the game and you have 33k net worth, it's almost unthrowable. It's getting to that territory. I wonder if there's a stat on like having this net worth at this minute, how many teams have ever lost with it. I bet it's like less than 2 in competitive Dota. Not even 2%, just like 2 teams in general maybe have thrown a lead like this at this minute.
It's gotta be so low. It just does not seem like a game ever going to be in a position. I mean, you have a Scepter on Prada. Your Hoodwink also just completed Hurricane Pike and has an Orchid queued up as well for Michael. So it's like, it's not just the cores you have to be worried about with the itemization. It's also supports. You have a double damage rune now for Alone as well.
There are no supports on the side of Fusion. Fusion has 0 supports in this game. Only cores.
They are under a really key observer ward. This could be very scary for them. Fake out. They're going to infest the Dragonite.
They have to doom him before. Oh no!
No way. You really want to target Wits? The doom will come out, but the static slump push wickets up to 3.
Oh no!
You all just line up for the AoE ultimates as that can now turn to deal with the supernova as well. It actually does go up, but it doesn't matter. There is no hope of a fight being turned when you
go
like that for the reveal of the scepter. Pamplona will showcase once again. And at least it can fly away. But what a beautiful reveal of Prada's freshly picked up scepter.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that the fight, it's just, you need to get this Ursa first, but he got his leap off first, which applied Enrage for 1.5 seconds, and the DK stun hit in that exact moment, allowing Witz to get his BKB off and go back. And it would have been even better if he decided to get his ultimate off, but in the end, didn't really matter when you have a 3-man Static Storm with an Agnum Scepter there. If they wanted to kill the egg, they could have done it, but they decided to just kill all the heroes in the Static Storm instead. Really, the world is their oyster here. And just like Lava's base also belongs to them.
See if they're gonna leave and we'll respect the timers coming back up, and they are out. So full set of barracks bottom. Back maybe a fake back. Alone's gonna wait, see if he can blow someone up. Card will show. Half health just gone.
Those are the plays that Alone is doing with this Shadow Fiend too. Just they're kind of like fuck you plays, you know, like they have no real purpose. Like they're high risk. You can get punished very hard for them. You're never gonna get killed doing it. And it's just like to show your dominance as a player. And yeah, we're gonna see a replay of this 3-man Static Storm here into the Rolling Thunder, into this amplify damage. Lina just clicking. I was surprised they almost killed the egg too there. Really happy about that one, as they probably feel nothing but secured that they're going to continue on this lower bracket run for the SA Road to TI qualifiers.
Yeah, we are now finally 100%. So
100%
time, but
Gaben has
only
deemed it unwinnable.
you know, they're still going. Respect to them. You know, smoke is couple men smoke. Hopefully they don't line up again for another crazy Static Storm. With instant burst onto Pampelona. Ryu's gonna try and disrupt as well here with the Rolling Thunder. Adrian casts the Doom, but it does absolutely nothing. The Ursa, along with the team, are far too ahead. They can pop the BKBs and hope to escape, but once Wits is there, the DK survives. It's a buyback for the Crystal Maiden, but she's gonna die in a heartbeat. A dart as well. He's gonna try and get onto Alone, but a 4-star down to the low ground. Lifesteal is having a difficult time to lock onto his target. Adrian will buy back as well, and Fusion, they will respect that. They're gonna get out of the base.
For now. Alright. Game Rage is on here. This is a very slow and painful process here, but if you are on Lava, right, this is your last life. Like, you just have to hope at this point that there's a throw that's going to come from Fusion. If you lose this game, you don't get another game until next year. If you want to compete at TI. So they're going to put everything they can to try and claw their way back into this seemingly impossible game, but the more epic it would be if they can actually manage to do so.
I just think of the storyline. If you win this game, there's no way you lose qualifiers. you would be it'd be unlosable.
Oh,
no
yeah.
one would be able to beat you. If you win this game, it would just, you know, 100%, they would make a run through the low bracket.
And they just win TI too, honestly, right?
Yes. Yeah, honestly, yeah. If they win this game, they deserve to do it.
For sure. We'll see if they can do it. The story is in the making. Literally, the road to winning TI starts with this game for Lava. And it also ends with this game.
Yeah, well, unfortunately that's the case as well. And now you're going to Ages, Cheese. I don't know, that was third Roche as well, so... Oh, mid lane, jump in, okay. Oh, Doom's gone. I think a Scepter for Wits. I'm not quite sure, I think it was Scepter for him.
Yeah, he picked up the Scepter for him, for Roshan, rather.
At least the lifesteal is in the Dragon. But unfortunately, the Dragon I can't invest into anything.
He actually did the play I was talking about.
Sure, yeah.
I didn't think he'd actually do it.
Stand his ground in the normal form.
Did not think he would actually do that. He did. I mean, it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what he's in as a vessel. Especially when your Doom just dies like that on the mid lane. You're gonna play versus Megas now.
Who's gonna rape?
You're dead.
Okay, Alone's got a rapier apparently.
Got a blue one. It's got a blue rapier.
How much? Let's see if you one-shot someone with the Laguna. Come on, just
I mean,
please jump in. Just you bought it. Just showcase how much it does.
There he
Stop
goes.
messing around. Oh, come on. Let's see. Oh.
He wants
Come
to.
on, dude.
Can't go. Cloak is on cooldown. That's 35% spell amp he's missing out on.
Professor up Faker. With the respawns.
I mean, Alone really tried to go the one item that could potentially throw this lead, though. He's trying.
Going for the bear who has the Aegis. Wits is fine, standing on the front line. 1 T4 is down. Prada with the jump over the left. Faker slips out of the static storm, so is actually able to activate the BKB. Now looks to move in. Disruptor is gone. The Dragon Knight is stuck in the middle. Alone
And he
pops the
doomed the
spell.
Lincolns.
It's onto the Doom. With using it onto the Lincolns, he's going to have no impact in the team fight, and they have no buybacks, no lives left. And good luck next is going to be caught as well. As the boys on Fusion, they will knock out Lava in the TI13 close qualifiers in South America.
I was a little bit worried after game number 1, but Fusion, they're on the path to